Hope you enjoy this clip from the Shillcast. Right now, you're seeing them on my channel, Actual Fandom, but soon you're going to be able to find them on the SHILL CLIPS channel. That's what that represents back there. Yeah, we're about to hit 2,000 subscribers over there, so please head over there and push us over that line. And thanks. Do you have anything you want to say?
King pronoun.
We should address this, I think. And then if you guys want to go, we can go or whatever. But like Chris Gore, you guys heard about Chris Gore?
Yeah, I don't know details, but I heard about it.
Apparently had a stroke.
I know some of the details, but yeah,
Vegas and like I genuinely hope that that there's no like long-term lasting damage.
I don't think he's going to come back as quickly as he thinks he is. I know people that have strokes, you don't come back in 2 weeks unless it was unless God was blessing you with like the golden power or whatever. Like it doesn't. People who have strokes don't come back that quickly to like work. Like you just don't. He can't put out the workload like he did before. It's not going to work.
Yeah, I just I hope that things are as minimal as they can be for post-stroke effects, right? I don't know what that would be, but like like I said in before somewhere, I like to think that if anything positive can come from something like this, it's that maybe he recognizes how fleeting life and health can be, and that maybe spend his time making content if he does get back to making content, with that in mind a little bit more, and yeah. Anyway,
well, I do know that the one guy, Andy Go, I think is the co-host or whatever. He was doing a couple of shows without Chris being there, but apparently it started with Midnight's Edge, like the blood pressure issue that caused the stroke or whatever. He was on Midnight's Edge right before they left for Vegas, and he kind of had an outrage moment with Tom, where he yelled at Tom, and it was kind of like a weird. He got mad that he just like rage quit the show, like while they were live. And it was over something stupid. I don't even remember what it was, but
I'm assuming it's not up anymore.
There's a clip of it somewhere. Yeah, like it's like Chris Gore rage quits Midnight's Edge or something. But he kind of just goes off. It's a ridiculous moment on the video. And that was right before they left for Vegas.
3 weeks ago?
Yeah. So they said that he had been on edge. He quit Midnight's Edge. He yelled at Tom. They were having a heated debate after the show was over with. It went on for a while. And then right before they left for Vegas, all of their merch got stolen. The Film Threat merch. So they had a whole like U-Haul with like all their merch in it getting ready to go to Vegas. And when they went to leave, the U-Haul had been vandalized and everything was stolen. All of their merch was stolen. So I think that was kind of the beginning of the whole thing.
I got that clip here.
Yeah.
I just found the clip.
He freaks the fuck out. It's crazy how he goes off. And I'll be honest, I don't like Tom, but this is go ahead.
What were you gonna say about Tom?
No, I don't necessarily like Tom either, but he goes off on Tom in a way that I feels like it's very like pent up anger. So you'll see here.
Can't be racist. Wrong. Incorrect.
Yeah, it's the same thing Leslie Headland said. But before you go, we got one here specifically for you from Horseradish Power sends in 5 pounds. Says Chris Gore poor things as creepy as premise. Not wanting to see it, period. Call me a fool all you want or all you like. I refuse to see it, especially after your rant. Well, that's fair. I agree to disagree with Chris on this, but you know what? I'm going to watch the film.
I want to pause it. Did you see his rant about this? Chris Gore's rant? He did like a 45-minute rant about this, and like it seems so juvenile. And so pretty much Tom and a lot of people in the chat were not siding with Chris. So he was getting really on edge about it.
I'll watch the film and I'll see what I think. And
before Chris goes,
Okay, it sounds like he's about to go off. So I just want to say that like it kind of seems to me that maybe Chris Gore is the kind of guy that wants to be in agreement and liked.
Yep.
And that might be kind of like part of what the pressure is like realizing that he's just gone off on this rant and like nobody's agreeing with him. And so there's like that social pressure of like, yeah, I mean, because that's the only reason I could see you would go from like Chris Gore used to legit have access in the industry and like do cool shit. You know what I mean? Like I don't know. The only reason I could see you would go this way with your content is that, I mean, I guess you aren't able to get work as much anymore, or maybe he really just got fucking red pilled and became chuddy. But like his content's always struck me, at least what we've seen of it, as like he's not coming at it as much from a ideological first perspective, like Nerdrotic or like Jeremy Griggs. They strike me as like they're coming at it with their ideology first. You know, it's like they really believe in like fuck this woke shit kind of stuff, and it's like, to me, maybe, you know, this is just kind of like vibes, but like Chris Gore just seems like he's just going with, you know, getting along to get along and saying the thing that he knows people are gonna. And
he seems irrational in this clip to the point where it seems like he kind of flew off the deep end. It's really, you'll see.
Okay.
Let me just a fucking moment for a second.
Whoa.
This is just as stupid as Sweet Baby censoring other ideas.
Oh no.
We should be able to, in a creative space, explore all sorts of weird shit, and you can see it and judge for yourself. This person is refusing to see it. Thank you for your closed-mindedness.
Wow.
And fine. I here's the thing I was pissed off and reacting to. Tom hasn't seen the film, and he has an opinion about something he doesn't know anything about. And he's accusing me and throwing little accusations of pedophilia. Fuck off.
I don't think anyone tried to say that against you. One of the creative choices there.
Go see the fucking movie.
I'm going to watch the movie, Chris.
I don't want to.
I'm going to watch the movie, Chris.
His voice sounds really ragged already.
Yeah.
You know, like, would he just do the rant right before this, or what?
No. The rant was like, I guess, a couple days. He filmed it a couple days.
No, I'm guessing maybe he gave it a positive review. And I will say, I don't know if you guys have seen Poor Things. I saw it a couple weeks ago.
Yeah.
It is a wild movie. It's really good, but it's wild.
Yeah, it's just that his review, people disagreed with him, and then he ranted about it, and then I guess Tom said he wasn't going to see it, so Chris took it personally.
Well, see, that's kind of what I mean. I think by, you know, the whole his ideology isn't at the forefront, because like he will, you know, apparently say if a movie that chuds are saying is bad for whatever fucking culture war reason, you know what I mean? Like if he's saying it's good, then that it's going to put him at odds.
But it seems like he's kind of like he is struggling, obviously, mentally and emotionally with this environment. He should not be on these streams with these people. If you truly feel this way, disconnect, Chris, and just make the content you want to make. Stop trying to align with these guys.
I mean, I will go ahead and say Poor Things is about a woman kind of discovering herself through a lot of sex.
Yeah.
A lot of sex.
So it's like, I don't know, I'm trying to think of how he's been on fucking Friday Night Tights countless times. Yeah. And I guess as far as we know, he hasn't had any moments of like major disagreement. So I mean, is it because they typically just cover the popcorn stuff that like is just easy to dismiss as woke or whatever, and that like in this case, I don't know.
I actually think that this is Chris leaning into his actual film side. And these guys don't want to hear what he has to say. So he's flipping out. He's having a break over it, and
they're not respecting him as the sincere film guy, right?
Right. Which I also think that's a little bit of like a jerk off moment for himself. But like the thing about it is that when you hang out with these kinds of people, don't expect them to take your criticism at like they don't value his criticism as a film guy.
I mean, one of the things he's yelling at them is that they're judging something without seeing it. It's like that.
I totally agree with that. Yeah, 100%, 100%.
Like, I mean, he goes on.
Chris,
Friday Night Tights is
too, buddy.
Full of those guys.
The problem is though that him doing this, like when I said he sounds unhinged, he does to this group because they're being very calm, even though they know that they've pushed his buttons, and
Yeah, and I'm wondering if they're just sitting there like, oh fuck yeah, this is gonna get us some clicks or what?
Absolutely. Like 100%.
Man, that Chateau guy, he's kind of fascinating to me. Apparently, Ryan had said something like he used to be kind of something in Canada or whatever.
He was a TV producer in Canada.
I kind of want to look at him because I came across one of his videos before I understood who he was, and like for a moment I almost bought his bullshit where he's like, I approach things from the right can be silly, the left can be silly, and I try to just find like, okay, well, I don't believe that that's a super valid way to approach things, but I'll hear what you have to say. And then by the end of the video I was like, I see what you're doing, you old fucker.
Yeah.
Anyway, but this
I'm
this
disinterested.
wild, man.
Aren't these left crazy?
But like, I agree with you, DJ. Like, I hope that he, doesn't come back to this
Yes.
content in particular. It's wow.
Yeah.
And I wonder. Sorry.
Yeah, I hope for a good speedy recovery for him. I hope everything goes well for him.
Yeah.
And yeah, it definitely seems like maybe like even just like hanging out with these guys might be not good for him.
Yeah, I mean, look, I mean, I guess I'll say that I'd be willing to, have Chris Gore on if you ever wanted to come on and talk to us, and not even about like any of the content he's made previously or anything necessarily, just like or his associations or whatever. Just if he's looking to be able to just talk about movies and without having to worry about people that are gonna be this I guess disingenuous and because like you go on this type of panel, they just want you to agree with them. They don't want you, and if you're going to disagree with them, they're going to make you into a fucking law cow and, clickbait. But
which is what's happening here with Chris. He's a target here. So,
but he's also, being pretty, man, that his ragged voice is making me think.
We'll see where this goes. This is quite wild. He rage quits. It's funny.
I'm going to watch the movie.
I don't want to debate people who haven't seen a thing.
I'm going to watch the movie, Chris. And I'm gonna watch the movie, Chris, and if I don't get one good reason why it couldn't have just been an adult brain instead of a baby brain, then we'll get to that point. But until we get to that point, I got to see the film.
Well, thank you for your super chat and supporting the channel.
We have another one here as well, related to it. I think this will be, yeah, just missed it. But anyway, Dave Tripper said, says, didn't like Poor Things, but I agree with Chris' opinion. Also.
So,
and he has not been back, and he ended his working relationship with these guys, so he's not going back on the show. So
damn.
Real quick, it can't be an adult brain because it's about her learning about herself and discovering herself. Literally at the beginning of the movie, she can't speak English, and at the end, she's incredibly verbose and well educated.
Wait, so it's an adult with a baby brain having a lot of sex? Is that what you're saying the movie's about?
Yes, but I mean, it's not baby brain at the point where she's having sex, but yes.
Right. Okay.
That is her origin.
That's definitely there's enough there that I can see why grifters would kind of cling on to that. As
absolutely. It sounds like the perfect recipe for anti-art. This is just bad because of this reason, because we don't understand nuance in film, and that's why Chris is probably freaking out at him because he's trying to have a adult conversation with them about this film, and they're just pedophile, child abuse. That's the same shit they've been saying.
Well, I mean, that's the big thing to keep in mind. She is the sexual aggressor throughout the movie.
Yeah.
The clip cuts off there, so I don't know if there is more where he literally rage quits the moment that
No,
happens.
he does on social media though. He was I'll never go back on their show again, blah blah blah, this other stuff. And then the very next day before they were packing to leave, all of their merch got stolen, all their film threat t-shirts and hats and stuff. So that was the spiral. And Gary said when they were in Vegas, the first day, that he was kind of still acting weird, and that's why they told him to go to the hospital. So
yeah, they said that because he, as Gary was saying, he's that they at first they were oh, he's just hungover or something, but as the day progressed, he was slurring more and more and stuff like that. And that's fucking terrifying, man. If somebody I cared about or around me, that started happening, or if I can imagine if it was it was happening to me, and loved ones saw that, holy shit, that's pretty scary.
And when you're drinking, it's hard to differentiate whether or not it's the alcohol or if it's something else happening. So that's also whoever noticed it and told him to go to the hospital. I don't know if it was Gary or who it was, but whoever it was probably saved his life, to be quite honest.
Subscribe to me. Oh, Dane, take my hand. I will lead you to salvation.